This is the key to retirement happiness. I did this video 2018, so it was that 3.5 years ago. Only got like 500 views or something like that. So I wanted to do it again because I came across an email on, for some reason I'm on the Medium email list. I don't know why, but this was pretty interesting. I came across an email from Medium, and I said, oh, this reminds me of back this article, or a couple articles, these studies that showed the key to happiness. And I think it's critically important, especially as I do my research on the best places to retire. So let me dive into this here. If I can find my Medium article. An 80-year-old Harvard study reveals a secret to long-term happiness. And I'm just going to kind of go down here and let you figure it out. It's actually pretty simple. Good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. That's from psychiatrist Robert Waldinger, director of the Harvard Study of Adult Development. Good relationships. It's love and affection, and it's not a barking dog. Actually, it's probably a barking dog, make you happier too, because a barking dog is a sign of a good relationship. But it's more than just that. This is good. I'll put the study in there. It's the quality of your close relationships that matters, not the quantity, the quality, i.e. right here. That doesn't mean you need a ton of friends. It just means you need to have close companions. Family, wives, husbands, kids, grandkids. Interesting, huh? But then it made me think about this study that I came across the Washington Post. Democracy dies in darkness. That still cracks me up, the Washington Post saying that, as they're banning people who live in small towns and rural areas are happier than everyone else, says researchers. And this is fantastic. So let's see, a team of happiness researchers at Vancouver School of Economics published a massive paper, 400,000 responses to a pair of national Canadian surveys, allowing them to parse distinctions in well-being at the level of more than 1,200 communities representing the entire Canadian geography. They're able to cross-reference the well-being with other data, as well as figures from the Canadian census, to see what sorts of characteristics were associated with the happiness at the community level. Are happier communities richer? Are they more educated? They spend more time in church? And the chief finding is striking association between population density and happiness. When the researchers ranked all 1,215 communities by average happiness, they found the average population density in the 20% most miserable communities was 8 times larger than the happiest 20%. Population density. Life is significantly less happy in urban areas. And we see this in the chart below, but I want to go into this even more because it's even deeper than just population density. All right. Let's see. So what makes happiness communities from all the rest? The happiest communities different from all the rest. Aside from fewer people, they found that the happiness communities share shorter commute times, less expensive housing, and a smaller share of the population was foreign born. Oh my goodness, racism. Homogenous communities. They also found that people in the happiest communities were less transient than in the least happiest communities. They are based on community. And that they are more likely to attend church, and they're more significantly to feel a sense of belonging in their communities. Going back to what we had just read, which is the Harvard study, good relationships keep us happier and healthier. Going back to the Washington Post thing here, again, it's just best right here. Commute times that are basically 5 minutes shorter, 13% points less likely to spend over 30% of their income on housing. Cheaper housing, or at least cheaper expenditures on housing. Happier people have no mortgage. It's just that simple. 90% fewer people per square mile. All right. Miserable people are 11 points likely to have lived in an area. I mean, they're happier people are 11 percentage points more likely to live in the same area for over 5 years. Are 11 percentage points more likely to be religious, and 10% have a sense of belonging to their community. My friends, it is just so blindingly obvious. Your community, your connection with the people around you. You can't be an urban lonely person and be happy. I mean, you can, but the likelihood of you being an urban dweller in some freaking crappy old apartment building with people that are foreign to you, doesn't mean they're foreigners, just means foreign to you. It's just not likely to happen. Community builds happiness. Community. And the smaller the community, the more elbow room, the less expensive the houses are, the more likely you are to meet people who you like. The Villages comes to mind. I know that's a pretty dense community, but still, it's a community. It all revolves around community. You want to be happy, find a community of like-minded people. Doesn't have to be skin color, doesn't have to be religious. All these things, so homogenous people who are like-minded all tend to be the same community types, and that way you're more happy. You can argue that all day long. I don't care. You're arguing against human nature. People like people who are like them. Find that group, get your cost of living down, have a little bit more elbow room. Ideally, you want to be a little bit more religious, most likely, because you have a believe in the supernatural. That's how you get happy. All right, love your thoughts.